There we go. What a beautiful morning. Morning, guys. How y'all doing? I'm gonna eat breakfast and then we're gonna get on the road. Oh, yeah. All right, everyone. Getting on the road here. Gonna go see some more stuff nearby Wenatchee here. And I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna do my dual camera now. And what I'm gonna try to do in post-production is horizontally flip this camera. It might look weird. I don't know. Maybe I'll just crop it down so it doesn't look so weird. But I want the steering wheel to turn with the same direction as I'm actually going. So that's what I'm going to try to do today, just to see what happens. Still getting really good cold starts on the rig, so that's cool. I'm going to try to head to a place here in Wenatchee called Ohme Gardens. I saw some pictures online and it looked really neat. So anyway, we'll give it a shot here. Leaving Home Depot. Had Wi-Fi last night, which was really nice. You can't upload videos, you can't do live hangouts with anybody, but it's internet. It's a really nice town, nice city. I've only been to West Wenatchee yesterday and today, so I haven't really even seen that much of it, but it's really nice. About 20 degrees warmer here in eastern Washington than it is back in Olympia, so I think I'm taking a good route. And there's my Starbucks right across the street over there. Uploaded a video yesterday right from there. I've been in fantastic moods lately because like every time I park somewhere new, even if it's like still like an urban area and I'm gonna camp overnight, every new place might have the same stores, you know, Home Depot, Walmart, Starbucks, all the stores that I'm familiar with, but they're always in a different order, right? So I mean, it's really neat to be able to see everything put in a different layout every single time, and the lights, I don't know, it does something inside of me every time I park and look around. It's like, hey, this is fresh, this is something new, this is good, but it's still a little bit cool because it's familiar, right? I'm gonna get new tires this next month here too. As I was talking about before, I'm gonna end up buying 2 at a time. They're $500 for 2 tires mounted, but they're the good all-terrain tires from Les Schwab. Get 2 down in southeast Washington, get 2 in Oregon, and then get 2 down in California or Arizona. That's probably what I'm gonna end up doing. It is kind of sad looking at all the fire though. They had a lot of damage over the summer with all these. I mean, the Wenatchee River stopped it a lot of the time, but not all the time. It'll grow back. It'll get green. It's Washington State. It always bounces back. Thank you, light. Ohme Gardens Park, there it is. Look at that big helicopter right there. That's cool. Still 0.7 miles away. Uphill. Come on, Olga. Push it to the limit. Maybe plenty of power. Power's not an issue with this RV. It's the price you pay for that power. Ohme Gardens open 9 to 6. Another hill. How this could be a garden. It just looks like a desert out here, a dry desert. Well, we'll see. Speed limit 10. I'm trying. All of a sudden, it looks like a park. Neat. I'm probably gonna have to park like this because there's nothing else for me to park. Yep. Park like this. Watch the satellite dish and the solar. I think that's good right there. Cool. All right, let's go check out Ohme Gardens. Ohme Gardens began in 1929 when Herman Ohme purchased 40 acres of land, which included an older frame house, a 5-acre apple orchard, some additional land for orchard expansion, and a high rocky bluff overlooking the Wenatchee Valley and Columbia River. He planted some trees and started a small rock garden. Soon after beginning work on his hilltop garden, Herman met Ruth Orcutt, and the two were later married in 1930. Herman was from the flatlands of Mattoon, Illinois, and Ruth was from nearby Dryden, Washington. As a boy, pictures of the evergreen-covered mountains of the Northwest always fascinated Herman. After many visits to the top of their rocky bluff at the end of the day in the orchard, they would enjoy the view and tranquility, and one fall day, after marveling at the incredible view, decided that this would be a good place to build a house. The only thing was that back in the 1930s, the banks weren't loaning any money because of the Great Depression. So they said that was okay, they'd just start their yard until such time the banks had money to loan again. Driving their Studebaker coupe to the Cascade Mountains, they loaded up their rumble seat and running boards with young trees, ferns, and shrubs to transplant to their bluff. Since there was no water on their outcropping, they would drive a truckload of 5-gallon dairy milk cans to the top and hand water the transplants. Truckloads of flat rock, flagstone were used to create pathways, benches, and tables. The rock lifted from the banks along the Columbia River near where Rocky Reach Dam is today, before the dam was built. After the dam was completed in 1962, its backwaters covered up the source of stone, so the Ohmes located similar rock outcroppings on surrounding hillsides and employed sledgehammers and wedges to obtain the size of stone they needed. The stepping stone rock and border rock was moved from Birch Mountain directly above the gardens. In addition, tons of rock was removed to clear areas for lawns and pathways. The two of them would utilize an old army stretcher to haul the rock. The larger rock were transported with a mule pulling a plank sled. Then, Herman would use a big crowbar to walk or roll the rocks into place. "You couldn't hire me to do that," Herman said. "It was a labor of love." After 10 years working in their spare time on summer evenings and in the fall when harvest was over, they had 2 acres developed, and a little patch of green against the brown hillside was starting to get a lot of attention from the folks down below. Curiosity seekers began coming up, and once discovered, started telling friends, who told friends, and the word spread. More and more people came to admire their handiwork. Then the Wenatchee Daily World printed a story on the gardens with photos of the following Sunday. Some 50 locals trekked out to look at the man-made wonder. In 1939, Herman bowed to the urging of his friends and many admirers and finally opened the gardens to the public. Partly to help offset the rising maintenance cost, and partly to keep from being overrun, they charged 25 cents per carload in 1939. But instead of keeping people away, just the opposite happened. It attracted even more people, so he finally had to lease out their orchard and go full-time, into doing what he loved to do, developing what would become known as the Ohme Gardens. Never intending it to become a tourist attraction, we just wanted to build a nice backyard, said Ruth. Neither botanists nor landscape architects, the garden's guiding force has always been purely intuitive and realization largely trial and error. There was never a written plan, ever. They simply carried out what they envisioned, depending on their inborn sense of beauty and proportion to create a garden completely in keeping with inspiring vista. Their aim was never a development of a formal flower garden, but of informal, natural alpine beauty. One of their two sons, Gordon, showed a pronounced interest in the ability towards the land and took over management in 1953. Gordon expanded the gardens another 5 acres in addition to his father's 4 acres. Little was done to publicize their work, but word soon spread that by the 1950s the annual number of visitors was nearing 20,000, and the 4 acres developed was gradually becoming self-supporting. Then in the 1960s, several magazines such as Life, Women's Day, Holiday, and Better Home and Gardens wrote about the gardens, rated amongst the leading gardens in America to gain national prominence and even more popularity. Since then, the gardens have been on the cover of many magazines and written about in many books: Gardening America, Gardens Architectural Digest, Grounds for Pleasure, and American Gardens, to name a few. The Ohmes weren't a rich family. Other than the gasoline cost to get the rocks, trees, plants, and building material for the shelters, the gardens were built with physical labor. The roofing and siding material was made from hand-peeled cedar bark, the furniture made from logs and spare cable spools. Gordon installed a carefully engineered, a practically invisible sprinkling system with over 140 sprinkler heads. Gordon had developed a rare terminal illness and was unable to keep up with the maintenance and upkeep, so he sold the gardens to the state of Washington, so the gardens would remain available to the public. In 2009, the state transferred ownership to Chelan County. This self-supporting garden will remain a place set apart and visited by travelers from around the world. Hey guys, Jack's here, along with his human servant Eric. Thanks for watching our RV channel. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up below. Don't forget to watch all of our other videos. We got some great material out there. Subscribe to our channel so you can get the latest updates here on the road. Can you say hi? Talk to you guys later.